And welcome to tonight's episode of A Trigger. I'm your host, Zachary Clark, and you all know my co-host, Bones the Dogosaur. Bones, how are you doing? Bones, I'll take that to mean you're doing quite well indeed. Me and...
It's me!
Oh, it's Adam! It wasn't Bones the Dogosaur.
I got you! It's one of my classic pranks.
Oh, classic prank straight from Adam. Oh, man.
You may remember the pumpkins.
Now, I recall, I believe that episode was censored because of your shenanigans.
Go big or go home. Go big or go home.
They were small pumpkins.
They were small. Probably.
You confused the algorithm.
Yeah.
But we got a good show for you folks tonight, so sit back, relax, and grab yourself a giant beer the size of your own effing head and get ready to dive in. We happen to be coming to you live straight from the site of the destruction of the Nord Stream 2 pipeline.
Oh no.
We actually don't have anything to talk about with that other than potential nuclear Armageddon. Not a big deal.
No.
Not the closest to the brink of nuclear war we've been since the Cuban Missile Crisis, according to the very President of the United States.
Sweet deal. The adults are back in charge.
Yes, I'm so glad there are no more mean tweets. But we'll get into that. But first, we have, as you know, a segment on this show wherein we refer to a certain Facebook account, also known as the Western Central Illinois, Scared Radio. Scared Radio. 30 to 50 people fighting in the 600 block of Broadway in Hannibal, Missouri.
Oh my gosh.
Hannibal Police Department, Madison County Sheriff's Department, and Missouri State Highway Patrol responding.
that first comment.
Oh, I didn't even read. Let's see. I was there. This is so exaggerated. It was like 15 to 20.
Oh my goodness.
Apparently started over one drunk spilling a drink on another at the Railton during a private wedding. And people started taking sides in a shoving match out on the sidewalk / street. It was funny to watch until the PD, sheriff, and highway patrol showed up and separated the groups. Ruined our 15 to 20 person brawl right there, I'll tell you what. It would have been fine.
It was so exaggerated. It wasn't no 50. It was probably like 20.
30 to 50, no way. 15 to 20, max 20. Everybody was kung fu fighting. Ha! Those Missouri drunks were pushing and shoving.
Oh, this is the musical episode.
Oh, there was an update. Jason Priest also appeared in court today. Jason Priest, he pleads not guilty to damaging government property. But seemingly agitated while wearing a Cruella de Vil wig and blue see-through dress over his bra and panties. Jason Priest was in courtroom 2B in the Adams County Courthouse for mere minutes before he was ushered out. That's right, his attire was too daring for Adams County Courthouse.
Probably
But,
for most
huh?
most courts.
But that was fine because after the bailiffs issued him out, they helped Priest find a burgundy shirt, blouse, and black skirt to wear in court to cover up. So it was a much more traditional dress than his
Give
see-through
him
blue
a lady's
dress.
hat as well.
What?
If they would have read if he would have read the rules, he could have worn a lady's hat.
Oh, that's true. He probably should have. Although I do not know Jason to be a hat wearer.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, I don't know, because a lot of this is in the summertime when it's hot out. It's very cool. He probably should have had something more practical for this chilly weather we've been having. I'm sure it was drafty in that see-through dress of his. But he pled not guilty, so I'm sure there will be a trial on the matter, and we'll get to the bottom of it. More reports to come. We have a quick timeline here if we want to run through real quick. Priest currently faces a laundry list of charges. Laundry list of charges. That doesn't mean it deals with types of clothes being cleaned and or detergents to be used, but in a very long list of number of different kinds of charges that he is being charged with. On March 2nd, he was charged with operating an uninsured motor vehicle and failure to possess a driver's license. Also, I think that this is a fake law that should be deleted from the statutes anyway, but it's not currently, so whatever, Jason, this is what happens when you become a pariah for the community you live in. The state can and will find every technical fault in the law that you do, and they will throw the book at you, and this is a prime example of that. Repeal all the laws. You need 3 laws. We've talked about this. I don't want to get into it. I don't want to get into it, Adam.
No, Zach. I think we need more than 3. I think we need like 10. Like 10, I don't know, laws? I don't know. I'm thinking like commands. 10 commands.
Listen. First of all, under the scenario, you'd have 4. Because the first 3 commands, God with all your heart, mind, and strength,
Okay.
I believe.
Okay, well, if you're talking that, it'd be 2.
And then you can break love your neighbor as yourself down into 3 categories. Murder, theft, and I believe vice. But vice is also sort of murder and theft combined. 3rd category.
What's your vice? Gambling? No. Murder.
Yeah, what is your vice? Gambling or stealing? Because if you're no, what is it? Gambling is stealing. It should be. That is correct. It should be stealing or murder. Gambling, for example, as a vice, would be theft, because you would be wasting your resources into slot machines or what have you instead of using them to glorify the Lord. 2, if you say you're a drug user or you have some sort of other sort of degenerate addiction, you would be a murderer. In fact, you'd be causing bodily harm either to yourself or to other people. So, what do you want? Pick your poison. Basically, there's 2 crimes. 3 if you count the God ones. And Jason Priest has broke all of them. Charged with disorderly conduct, a Class C misdemeanor, was standing naked on the porch of residence at 2309 State and yelling at passing traffic. Charged with trespassing at Blessing Hospital. Charged with 1 count of reckless conduct, a Class A misdemeanor, and 2 counts of disorderly conduct, both Class C misdemeanors. Entered the 2300 block of State Street and impeded traffic, causing vehicles to swerve to miss him and drive into oncoming lane of street in front of vehicle while not being in a crosswalk. While Priest was in the street, he put his hands down his underwear and manipulated his genitalia. June 2nd.
That's a weird phrasing there. Like, I mean, I get what they're saying, but like manipulated, like, I think everyone knew.
June 2nd, charged with criminal damage to government property, class 3 felony, damaged a phone kiosk in a holding cell in the Adams County Jail. Emergency stalking order, no contact order filed by a lady, summons served same day. Charged with making an improper left turn on a bicycle at intersection 12 in New York. Have you by making an improper left turn on a bicycle? We're like, oh, we're gonna get you this time, Jason. Jason. That should not be a law that the police get to. Listen here, Chief. Yes, Mayor Troop. Anything you need. This is it. We're gonna get that thorn out of our side once and for all. Sir, Mayor Troop, we'll be right on it. I'll have an officer detail of 3 assigned just to following Jason Priest around so that if he makes an improper left turn on a bicycle, we'll have him in handcuffs.
Can you even like, other than a fine, can you be in any other trouble for that?
I don't know why you would be in any trouble at all for making an improper left turn on a bicycle at an intersection. Because I've seen guys ride those motorized bikes down the sidewalk and stuff, and the cops are just like, doop, doop, doop. Oh, no, we're too busy. I spied down the road Jason Priest making an improper left turn. Didn't properly hand signal. Left turn on a bike. And you go down like this, straight armed if you're stopping.
Mm-hmm.
Slow it down if you're making a right turn. I know my hand signals. I was a Boy Scout, Adam. Not an Eagle Scout. Don't get into that. But Jason Priest here is a example of 2 competing interests that the community has to deal with. A, whack jobs that we don't want to have to deal with, and B, technical criminal statutes that criminalize conduct.
Yeah, that's how you get a Komatsu bulldozer run through your...
We followed the law to the letter. I don't know what he was worried about. We just put him out of business and impoverished him. Ruined his life. Why would he object? What would he there's nothing illegal he did.
We made sure of it because we changed the law.
And then the guy's like, okay, I guess these are the rules. Welding mask down. Sabatone songs playing in his mind. Oziats then and again, attacking the dead, 100 men, fixing the lead once again, 100 men, charge again, die again.
It would definitely be off of that Final Stand album or the Last Stand album.
Oh, Last Stand's so good, but I don't know. There's so many good ones. I hope they do 3 albums in a row all about World War One.
Oh my god. Please no.
One more time. There's so much material left. We have that to cover.
I know. It's like, in these 4 years that happened, there's so much.
Yeah. So who knows? Who knows what's going to happen?
Do they have any, I don't know, have they had any Odyssey? Have to. Trojan War?
No.
None?
No.
Oh, come on.
What do you want from them, Adam?
I'm just thinking about more war
I think that
outside of World War One.
they just had a handful of songs that were specifically related to battles from not World War One or two off of the Last Stand album.
Yeah, that was like 7 years ago or whatever.
Yeah.
8 years ago.
Then they did like the latest one was the
Dude,
War to End All Wars, and that was all World War One. And then before that was the Great War, I believe.
I haven't listened to the last one, but like Great War albums. I mean, all of them. I mean, come on, like let's some other wars.
Sparta, da Hellas, da. Yeah,
Did they do any Napoleonic Wars?
I don't believe.
Have to.
I don't believe so.
Oh my God. Anyway, sorry, I'm interrupting the flow.
We can just talk about Sabatone for the rest of the show.
This is this Evertone episode.
We're just gonna play the songs and sing along to them, and that's gonna be the rest. The next 36 minutes.
Adam and Zach react to this whole album.
Oh my
No,
gosh.
you can't do that. YouTube flags it.
Yeah, if you play a song for longer than like 5 seconds or whatever, there'll be
Yeah,
a
it's something
copyright
crazy.
strike automatically placed on this video. Probably already
Yeah,
will because of my excellent song renditions. It's gonna get shazammed by the algorithm. Is that literally Sabatone playing?
It's great.
Strong chance. Strong chance.
Love to see that appeal.
But no, we have other things in the news. Other things are happening. The Grand President of the United States has issued a fatwa against the laws of his own country, and he has decided to repeal, via pardon power, the crime of possession of marijuana. As he said before, no one should be in jail for just using or possessing marijuana. Today, I'm taking steps to end our failed approach. Allow me to lay them out. First of all, pardoning all prior federal offenses of simple marijuana possession. There are thousands of people who were previously convicted of simple possession who may be denied employment, housing, or educational opportunities as a result. My pardon will remove this burden. Adam, tell me how that is a lie.
How is his pardon going to?
His pardon is going to prevent thousands of people who were previously convicted of simple possession who may be denied employment or housing or educational opportunities. He'll remove that burden. If pardoned for that crime, they don't have a conviction for that crime. So obviously anybody that was saying that they don't want them to work for them is not going to be able to say that anymore.
I mean, I don't know what you're getting at, Zach, but it's like, oh, hey, thanks for your. Ooh, what's 20 years? What were you doing the past 20 years? Oh, wait, you can't ask that. Don't worry about it. All right, well.
Listen, I can deny you employment for anything that's not a protected class category. If you were convicted of a marijuana crime, but then subsequently pardoned for that crime, I can still say I don't want a marijuana user to work for me. And there's literally nothing illegal about that.
Not in Illinois. They passed a law last year, Zachary, that you can't deny people based on their conviction.
You can't deny them based on their
conviction.
I'm
You can't deny someone their employment in your establishment based on their conviction.
based on being convicted of a crime.
Based on being convicted of a crime. Without doing an analysis. You have to look at
You're
what's
not denying them because they were convicted of a crime, Adam. You're denying them because they used drugs. I don't see.
Yeah, I
There's
guess.
a little
I mean,
loophole
I
there.
guess
It's literally not illegal to say I don't hire weed smokers.
you a you a Bears fan? You a Cards fan? You a Cubs fan? Okay, I'm not gonna
Yeah,
fire you.
we don't hire Cubs fans here. Literally not illegal.
Who's stupid? Yep, I'm stupid. Get out of
Yep,
here.
get out of here. I'm done. I don't hire people that smoke weed. Goodbye. No, this pardon will prevent people from being denied employment they would otherwise do, like driving a big rig truck. Oh, wait, the Department of Transportation still prohibits truck drivers from smoking marijuana.
Oh
No,
no,
wait a
no.
second. Adam, who is the Department of Transportation run by? I forget.
Oh, it's Slicky Pete or whatever. Pete.
Who does Slicky Pete work for?
Yeah,
I've already forgotten.
but that wasn't his name. I remember it. I can't say it though.
Pete Buttigieg is the
Yes,
Secretary of
yes. No, I
Transportation.
couldn't think of the other the other name.
Slicky Pete. Yeah, there's a unitary executive. The president enforces any number of anti-marijuana laws across the spectrum. And at the same time, he is now pardoning anybody who does marijuana crimes, including prosecutions for marijuana crimes. The president, technically, his office, does all of those things and also negates all of those things. Except it doesn't, because I'm sure that the Department of Transportation would still pull some truck driver's license if he was dropped positive for marijuana while he was driving over the road.
I bet you even some of the any federal workers
Yes,
can't.
exactly correct.
Not. I'm just saying, not just like licensed.
That's part of the lie baked into it. Just statement number 2 here in his grand proclamation that he's going to remove all these barriers of employment to people formerly convicted of marijuana use. I will remove all of your stigma and you can work jobs. Wait, not the jobs that
Zach.
prohibit you from having any marijuana charges.
Zach, does it say convicted for marijuana use?
Yes. There's no crimes against marijuana use. Also, I think people.
That's what I was gonna say. I thought that was. It's been like like since the 50s or 60s that you can't actually be. Convicted for.
I don't see any reason why you couldn't be convicted for being intoxicated on.
I can't remember what the reason.
There was some
substantial dues process thing.
There was some nonsense, I believe, about it being a status offense.
Yes, that was it.
And you couldn't criminalize the status of a person as being.
So I don't know if it was
or whatever.
That's it.
And I don't think that that's real. Because there are on the books enforceable offenses for being of a status related to your conduct. For example, if you're just operating a motor vehicle and you're not drunk, is that a crime in itself? It is not. However, if you are drunk and driving a car, it's specifically criminalizing the status of being drunk while operating a vehicle and using some sort of pretext to try to say that, no, it's the act of driving while in that status, and it's a completely different, no, not a status crime, fake. Not only that, but drunken, disorderly conduct, like public intoxication types of stuff. You're just drunk in public. We're not prosecuting you because you're drunk. It's the act of being in public while drunk. Okay, so we're not. So you're criminalizing the status.
No. You can stay in the bar in public while you're drunk.
Yeah, how's that supposed to work? See, fake. I think that our professors in law school were co-opted into a liberal nonsense, and they tried to indoctrinate us into it. But it was so flimsy, all you had to do was ask 2 questions, and most of it fell apart. So, the trick was to ask those awkward questions in an auditorium full of people until someone came over and told you to be quiet.
Because those people who didn't still have those weird programmed responses.
Yeah, very strange. I'm friends with many of them on the old Facebook there. And I'm like, well, you say thing? What does thing even mean? I'm like, wow, thing means thing. I'm like, I don't know. Very curious, very curious. Anyway, Biden goes on a long road to say that he's basically making it, while still illegal, not changing the criminal law, say that if you do that crime, that is a serious felony under federal law, and if you're convicted, because I didn't see anything in here about no longer prosecuting such offenses, that you will be pardoned by the President of the United States.
And then there was the thing that said, what was it? He said that he's going to instruct the DEA head to change out the schedule for marijuana.
That's correct. We classify marijuana as the same level as heroin and more serious than fentanyl. It makes no sense. I'm asking Secretary Becerra and the Attorney General to initiate a process of reviewing how marijuana is scheduled under federal law.
Yeah, federal law.
There was some rebuttal about this exact thing, and some people said that the statutes enabled Secretary Becerra and the Attorney General through the rulemaking process to deschedule and reschedule drugs. That is not my understanding, but I don't remember exactly. So if true, then they could, through the rulemaking process, do that.
Through the rulemaking progress, change actual federal law, not the regulations?
I don't know that in the federal statutes that it specifically schedules the drugs. I think that might be through regulation.
Also, there's the thing of where you could direct your agency to, ignore the law completely and refuse to enforce it.
Oh, the Obama method. Yeah. Biden's got a lot of experience with that.
There's that you can do too.
So, if you did a marijuana crime and you were federally prosecuted, you're in luck. And let's just hope that you didn't have any ancillary charges along with those, because this only applies to the possession and use crimes of marijuana, not trafficking, distribution, and those sorts of things. And I might just throw in that it isn't the general practice of the federal government to go around arresting guys with 2 joints in their pocket and then just charging them with possession of marijuana, even though it is technically illegal. But the number of people that they said this affected, it was something like hundreds of thousands of people. It shocked me
Hmm.
because that would lead me to believe that they were. Unless, as I further suspect, though I'm not going to look into this at all, is that it's idiots that were arrested for trafficking, and they also just tacked on, well, they were in possession of the drugs as well. And none of
Oh,
these people will actually be released from prison for these pardons that they're receiving through the prison.
yeah. I was also thinking maybe taking a plea deal for the simple possession instead of going through trial for a more severe thing.
That's true. You run into that problem. It doesn't account for the charges dropped because they took a plea that may
Yeah.
have been more serious. And then you're pardoning violent offenders or whatever because the only thing that they were actually convicted on was a possession charge or whatever.
Pardoning violent offenders or refusing to prosecute violent offenders. We don't know
No, the federal government
by
won't do that.
DOJ. We get
Not
those.
prosecute
Get those.
violent offenders?
Yeah, that's why. That's why we get those J6s.
Oh, that's right, exactly. Jan
Violent
6
criminals.
were so violent, and we're prosecuting all of those guys, especially Ray
Yeah.
Epps.
Yeah. Do you know how many people died on January 6th?
Oh, I can't even recount the number. It would be too painful for me to say
Yeah.
all of their names. That attack was worse than 9/11. And it's not like we do a whole thing where we speak the names of each of the people that died on. Oh, wait. Wait, Adam, we do that. Say her name. Ashley Babbitt, only person that died on 1/6. No, there was those cops. No cops died on 1/6. No, they did. I seriously thought it. No. Name them and their date of death, please, in the comments below.
I read it in an article
The only
died.
the only person to die on 1/6 as a result of violence was the lady who was shot in the neck by police. If you have other names in respect to their memory, please comment below with their date of death and cause of death, so everyone knows the tragedy of their demise.
No, there's no one in the chat. No names. No names.
Oh, that's okay. We don't need to get into that right now. Even though the extremist group that was somehow plotting extremist violence on 1/6, their trial is ongoing. What are those people called? What are they? I can't remember.
Pathfinder.
The Promise Keepers?
The Promise Keepers, that's it.
I don't think that's it.
No, that's the church thing.
That is the church thing. It's not the guys that are
Uh,
trying to do a 9/11 on January 6th.
Who? the Bible study for weenies?
Yeah. No, I don't remember him. It was some guy, not Doug Wilson.
No, it was him. Who called it? Who called them the Bible study for weenies?
He did call
Sure,
the
but-
Promise Keepers the Bible study for weenies or whatever, but
Yeah, that was him.
there's some
Oh,
sort
maybe
of...
it wasn't him.
It wasn't.
Maybe it was the guy out of Mars Hill. What's
Paul?
that guy's name?
The Apostle
No,
on Mars Hill?
no.
He gave a sermon there, I believe, or an epistle regarding Acts. Wasn't that an Acts?
Rob Driscoll? It might have been him.
That wasn't the guy. It wasn't any church group. It was some
You're talking
dude
about something else.
with an eye patch.
talking- I'm talking about
I'm talking about
we
the
were both on the
Apostle
same page
Paul.
talking about the Bible study for weenies,
He,
and
the Mars Hill was the debate with the Greeks, the Greek philosophers, I believe.
you are talking about something not about the Promise Keepers, which we were talking about. You got lost. You got lost somewhere. Is that?
I know exactly what I'm talking about.
I don't know if you do.
There was a right wing extremist group that its founder and high level members were arrested and they're being prosecuted for seditious conspiracy. Their trial is happening beginning like next week. And one of the things that they're accusing them of is transporting guns outside of the Washington, D.C. zone to be used in the 1/6 riots. The 1/6 riots that occurred.
Where weapons were used.
Correct.
Well, they were used. We just talked about that weapons were used against the civilian
A lady
veteran,
was
a U.S. Air Force
shot by
veteran.
police. I'm saying that unlike a situation where people were trying to do a crime and the police busted them before they could consummate it, they're now accusing guys of preparing to do a crime and then not doing it on the day that the crime would have been done if they had done it.
Yeah, it's pre-crime, right? It's something like
No, it's not even
that.
pre-crime. It's not even pre-crime because attempt offenses exist. Conspiracies and substantial steps into completing a crime exist. But unlike a situation where the conspiracy is interrupted and the preventative step taken was criminal intervention or like a law enforcement intervention, it was they just decided, no, we're not going to do that. And now they're being prosecuted for the thing that they decided not to do, for preparing for it.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Sounds
very interesting, Adam.
sounds fake.
Why would that be a crime? This reminds me of my good friend Jason Priest. You see, what you do is you create a schema of statutes and regulations that is so dense with offenses that if you look at anyone's acts in any given day, you can find something that they did wrong. And in that way, you can persecute the people that you don't like very much. If this sounds sort of like tyranny, you might be correct. But it's not time to talk about that yet. Maybe in the very near future it might be time to talk about that, but it's not quite time to talk about overthrowing the tyrannous oppressor, the foreign government that's trying to rule over us and has its boot upon our neck. Though I do love talking about that. I have, in fact, sworn an oath to uphold the Constitution. We might just disagree about what that means. Don't worry. Don't worry. But this is coming down from the Biden administration. But the Biden administration has more on its plate than just pardoning simple possession of marijuana by federal offenders. They also decided that they need to do something about these gas prices. And where are they going to strike first? That villainous OPEC. Dun, 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 dun. Biden administration to consult with Congress on additional tools and authorities to reduce OPEC's control over energy prices. The White House. Dun, 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 dun. And I'm with Kevin
I
here.
know the solution, Zach.
Adam, tell me the solution, please.
Total war conquest of of the oil nation.
Oh, as it should be, but we've really, taken 5 steps back on that plan. We left Afghanistan a year ago, which was been a great staging point for our war to conquer all of the Middle East.
It would have been a great staging
Not only that, our foothold in Iraq, we decided just to tiptoe out of over the last decade, 20 years, too, instead of rightfully claiming it as sovereign U.S. territory. So there's a lot of work that we'd have to do in order to go back to do the needful, the thing that we should have done in 2010, or by 2010, I should say. But they need to control OPEC. And their OPEC's control over energy prices. I'm so curious. I just don't know. But why would OPEC have control over energy prices? I'm so confused.
Don't know what you're asking. Why do they have control over it?
Yeah.
They are the countries that OPEC is a conglomerate, is a cartel of countries that are robust in oil and other types of energy for in their sovereign lands.
Oh,
And
it's
so, in order
interesting.
to, in order for them to best effectuate themselves and stage themselves in the marketplace, they will price fix with each other, and a promise is to get the best dollar for their oil.
Yes. And how are they able to do that? Don't other countries also have oil?
Yes, they do, like us in Canada. And
So, in order to confront them, couldn't we just make more oil?
oh, we could. There's nothing stopping
wait,
us.
wait. You're telling me this for the first time. I'm just hearing about
I'm hearing this for the first time.
it. You're saying that if we domestically produce more oil, that will create market competition and force OPEC to lower their prices?
It's what they did in 2015. We were
No.
exploring fracking.
Hold
There's
on.
the fracking, and we're making innovation with like oil sands and stuff. Um, and then they decided to ramp up production. It killed the price of oil. And then it wasn't profitable to engage in those sorts of innovative ventures. And so when we stopped doing it, that's why like North Dakota just went from boom to bust.
Yes, and if if you were the government, let's say, I don't know, I'm not the government, but let's say that you were a government administration and you were interested in confronting OPEC's control over the prices of energy, mightn't you do something to support the oil and gas industry domestically then? So that it would be able
Zachary,
to
if it
to
were
compete?
me, if it were me there, I wouldn't have to do anything because most of the stuff would have already been gutted.
Yeah, but I'm saying that it's the Biden administration. As soon as they came into office, were hostile to and antagonistic toward oil and gas projects,
It's
refusing
traditional energy.
refusing to
Just
issue leases, canceling pipelines, and then
yes,
otherwise being hostile toward oil and gas,
yes,
which would
and nuclear power.
and did restrict domestic production.
Yeah,
The exact thing that confronts OPEC's monopoly and its ability to control prices worldwide. And now the exact people that did that thing, that removed the ability for us to confront the vile cartel of OPEC, is now lamenting and searching for ways to prevent OPEC from being able to control oil prices. And
They should have never let those
find that
strategic
ironic.
oil heads. I can't believe they did that. Flood the market with a few billion barrels.
No, what you gonna do? That's what we'll do. That solves the problem. Hey, just dump on the brink of World War III. Dump our strategic oil reserves into the market to be burned as transport fuel.
Yeah, I don't know if they knew that the gas prices would go up so fast. Go up so high so fast. I think they were waiting. They thought it might take into effect after the midterms, but I mean, shoot, gas has been going up steadily for about a year now, year and a half.
We're back over $4 locally in town here.
Oh, dude, it jumped over this weekend. It lasted, I think it was under $4 for probably about like 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Yeah, including in California, where gas prices are just too high, says Governor of California Gavin Newsom, where 23 million Californians are going to be receiving $1,000 in cash starting tomorrow. I need to move to California and get my gas cash.
Dude, and we're worried about inflation.
I don't know how California can afford to do this.
They need the gas to power their generators for the imminent rolling blackouts.
I don't know where they got 23 million thousand. How much is that? Is that $230 billion?
Wait, is it how many? What's the population?
They're saying 23 million Californians will be receiving up to $1,000 starting tomorrow. So up to 1,000. So they're not all going to get 1,000. But
$23 billion.
23 million times 100.
Yeah, 23 million Californians, $1,000 each. Let's just assume that. That'd be $23 billion. Yeah, no, the 3 zeros. That's nine zeros would be 23 billion.
Oh, yes. $23 billion. I don't know where California gets $23 billion in cash just laying around to be able to dish out for gas money.
They get it from China.
China. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think they do that.
California bonds? I don't know. Very strange. But at least Gavin Newsom's doing something about it that is sustainable and systemic that will long last and reduce these underlying fundamental systemic problems that are causing high gas prices, like just dumping 23 billion in cash into the market.
I forgot also, I remember, well, I saw it, forgot that Illinois suspended like one of its gas taxes too for like a full year or whatever. So this price at the pump is usually, it would normally be higher.
No, it's going to be higher. Is that going to expire soon, I'm guessing?
I can't remember when it expires, if it expires the end of this year or next year.
November 7?
Yeah, well, because I went across the border into Wisconsin to get this past weekend to get gas because I figured it'd be cheaper than the Rockford area, but nope.
That's fine. That's fine. Because the government is going to do something,
They can't.
Biden
can't do anything.
Biden has laser-like focus, and he's decided that OPEC needs to be taken down. OPEC, who's not only manipulating prices, but also is supporting our strategic enemy. The White House accuses OPEC Plus of aligning with Russia. Dun dun Da-da-da. Oil production cuts prompt backlash from Washington amid soaring energy inflation. Dun, dun, dun. Why would OPEC Plus be siding with our strategic enemy, Russia, Adam? OPEC Plus has no right to do these things.
I hate this. I hate it. I hate it, Zach.
Adam, why would you hate this? The president's asserting himself. Oh, wait, what is this? OPEC Plus refers to the alliance of crude producers who have been undertaking corrections in supply in the oil market since 2017. OPEC Plus countries, now these are the bad guys that are supporting Russia, and we never foresaw it. These countries, these OPEC Plus countries, are Azerbaijan, Bahrain, Brunei, Kazakhstan, Malaysia, Mexico, our very neighbor, those treacherous bees. Oman and Russia. Oh, wait. Russia is one of them. How can we assist? How can we not? How? Adam, it's such a surprise that the OPEC Plus countries that include Russia would align themselves with Russia.
I don't understand. We could have easily influenced this through. I mean, shoot, reinforce the remain in Mexico thing. Hey, it's your problem now, buddy.
No.
You're siding with this stuff again. There's so many things you could do.
Unforeseeable alignment with Russia by Russia.
Yeah.
There was no way we could know that that's what was happening. There was something I needed to talk about tonight. I included it in the name of the show tonight, so I need to remember what that was and talk about that topic. Oh, yes, that's right. In lighter news, away from global strategic initiatives, war, and the oil, Adam, did you hear? Finally, the Little Mermaid is black. And I can identify with her. A thing I was unable to do. For all the years of my life that I was aware of the Little Mermaid, I was unable to identify with her because she didn't share my race and or gender.
Well, hey, Zach, you could make your own merman story. And you can do whatever you want with that.
No, Adam. I need to be gender and racially aligned with a character in fiction in order to relate to them. That's the only way that I will finally feel represented. And once again, I believe that this sentiment further entrenches my newly newly realized observation that the political and cultural discourse in the country is just dominated by women who need that in order to connect. If the character isn't a lady, like I'm a lady, I just can't relate to her, him, theirs struggle. And especially if we aren't sharing the same racial identity and or historical ethnicity identity, I need a mixed ethnicity, pale-skinned, Hebridean, German English male protagonist from the Midwest before I can properly relate to a character in a piece of fiction. Is the rationale I hear when I see representation matters in media. Well, at the same time, there are literally men of every ethnicity, race, and creed that observe diverse characters in fictions, from Optimus Prime, a literal robot, to Shrek, a green ogre, and they're all just
I
like,
think Squidward's at the bottom.
yes, Squidward is on there, and I know that you have a natural affinity to him.
It's just, he's literally me.
LMAO, that's literally me. Once again, this is just generalization. It doesn't apply to exactly every single male or woman that exists on planet Earth, but as a generalization, it's true. And ladies, we love you. Listen. I've lived around women long enough to know that even if I wanted to change you, telling you that's going to have the complete opposite effect.
You're gonna get me in trouble.
So here's to you, ladies. My giant head-sized beer is coming to an end, but I'll drink to the beautiful, wonderful creatures that you are, that the Lord has definitely blessed us with. Oh. But coming here to the end of our show, of course, as usual, we have our ice cold fact of the week coming to you straight from Ice T himself. Ice cold fact. Who else grew up in a home where you ate what your mama cooked or you didn't eat at all? Ice cold fact. Me, Ice T. Wasn't allowed extra meal snack because I didn't like meatloaf, even though it was dry and I wanted more ketchup, but there wasn't more, and I just had to eat it and choke it down. And I'm still hungry. You should have eaten more meatloaf, Zach. Ice cold fact. Molly doesn't understand this, and I once again, in order to maintain household harmony, don't push the issue much better. Eat your dang chili, child. I don't like chili. Like, well, you're getting nothing else for the rest of the week until you do. Chili in the morning, chili in the evening, chili at supper time.
Stop singing.
No, shut up, Stop it, you're being antagonistic. You're making it worse. Anyway, folks, that's our show tonight. We really hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, smash that like button, subscribe, share the video with all of your friends. You can also follow us on social media. Our social media handles are on the screen. We have Adam S. Furman, Zachary W_Clark, and Triggered_media. Adam, here at the end of the show, did you have anything that you'd like to add?
I do not.
Excellent. As usual, Adam does not have anything to add. Well, that's the show, folks. And we will see you next time.